Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Ahmed, briefly introduce yourself to the committee.
Chair, my name is Shoaib Barre Ahmed, the MCA for Deep Ward, and the chair for Roads, Transport and Infrastructure Committee in the County Assembly. I am the seconder of this motion for the impeachment of the governor of Wajir County before this Honorable Senate Committee.
Now, your affidavit, I see, is about, your affidavit is 27 paragraphs, but you basically talk about the second lady. Can you capture for the members the main features of your complaint against the first lady?
Basically, my evidence is revolving around the first family, and specifically the first lady, and at times it comes to even the governor himself, because of the misdealings in the county. I might say it is impunity of the highest order being practiced there. A chair, I'm on oath, other than the statement and the affidavit deponed here. Whatever I say is to the truth on the best of my knowledge, Mr. Chairman. So, the misdealings in Wajir County have reached a point that as members we could not take it anymore. Our constitutional mandate provides us now for our oversight role to take the next step forward. Chair, there are a lot of investigative agencies in this country that have taken steps at least to bring order and sanity to Wajir County. We have the EACC that has done a lot of raids in Wajir County. Although that is not in my affidavit, but in the news and everywhere, over 6 times the county headquarters of Wajir County has been raided because of malpractices, because of corruption issues. So we found it necessary now, as members of the County Assembly, performing a constitutional duty to carry out an impeachment process. That is why I'm here today.
Also, explain the main complaints you put in your affidavit in terms of corruption, in terms of all these issues as it relates to the first lady.
In my affidavit, paragraph 5, we say that the governor has allowed his wife literally to run the county affairs as a de facto authority. Why do I say so? Because, you know, devolution has come up with a lot of good things for Wajir County specifically, because we never had a lot of resources coming to our people. So we expected at least life to change by bringing in developments, especially the water sector, the roads, the health. And those ones now, the government does not do it specifically on itself. It contracts people to do development projects. So others are advertised, others are given through quotations. It has come to a point where for you now, as a supplier, as a contractor, to secure a job in the county government of Wajir, you must be able first to part with money for you to get that contract. Then you go and do that project. After you do the project, you come for payment. You again have to part again with a bribe. It is called 10% in Wajir of any project that you do. When you do prior to getting the tender, and when you do after. Once again now, for you to be paid, it becomes a very big problem. So, and what I said with the First Lady, we have issues where she has taken bribes and money being deposited into accounts. For instance, in paragraph number 7, if you look at it, on the 9th of October 2017, a sum of Kenya shilling 6 million was deposited in an account ending with 7550. I'll take you to my second affidavit today. I'm sorry it's not paginated, but I think everybody has that. That is a statement of the account of Khaira Omar Malim. On October 9th, a sum of Kenya shillings 6 million was deposited in the account. That is a straight bribe, a kickback. On the 11th of 2017, the sum of Kenya shillings 2,600,000. That is also reflected in our account statement. And again, on the 27th of October, a sum of 4,600,000 shillings with the account of Khaira ending with 7550. Further, according to our investigations, as oversight body. Okay.
Has been a bank statement from the face value does not appear to be a bank statement, because what I have here is a copy that has a stamp of Ethics and Corruption Commission. Doesn't have any face of a bank. I don't know what it is. I would rather get to understand it. We are looking at the same or the right document.
Council for Governor, any comment?
There's a bank statement. It doesn't state where it comes from which bank it comes from, and that formed the substance of our objection earlier on. But if the committee wishes to entertain it as what the witness says it is, that's up to the committee. But we have certain stringent objections, and we want to test this evidence by cross-examination. Hence, my request to reserve my cross until tomorrow.
I think you had the issue raised by Senator Linturi, and the burden is on the County Assembly to convince this committee that this is indeed a bank statement. So proceed, bearing that in mind.
Okay.
Yes. You will answer those questions, but continue now.
Okay. On the 11th of November 2017, that is on paragraph 11 of my affidavit, Mohamed Abdi Mohamud, whom I'm going to talk about in more, deposited also a sum of Kenya shillings 1 million into Khaira Omar's bank account ending with 7550. Your Chairman, on the 18th of December 2017, Omar Abdullahi, who is a contractor and a director of a company named as FATCO, deposited a bribe of Kenya shillings 9 million shillings into the account of Khaira Omar for him to get a tender for construction of a 60 cubic meter water plant at Shimbiri. That is also shown in the statement that I have. Chair, we also have proxy companies. But before I go to that also, we also have on the following deposit, that's on paragraph number 12, the following deposits were made by one Isa, Abdulrazak Isa, to Khaira's account On the 15th December, a sum of 625,000 shillings. On the 1st of March 2019, the sum of 800,000 shillings. On the 6th of April 2019, the sum of Kenya shillings 900,000 was deposited in the account. On the 25th of May 2019, the sum of Kenya shillings 800,000 was deposited into account. And on the 7th of November 2019, sum of Kenya shillings 900,000 was deposited. Again, on the 28th of November 2019, the sum of Kenya shillings 900,000 was deposited in the account. The total amount of money that came from Abdulrazak Issa and deposited into the account of Haida is 4,925,000. Chairman.
Now, Chair, with your kind permission, just seeking your guidance as to whether or not it would be prudent for us to ascertain the authenticity of this document before the witness testifies on it, so that the document itself, if relied and goes on record, then it turns out that the document is unreliable and inadmissible. Where shall we be leaving, one, the character of the person being referred to here? And of course, when I address the question of the character, Chair, I'm alive to the fact of the Article 28, which provides that everybody has a right to have that, to have dignity, and that dignity upheld and respected. If all this goes on record and the authenticity of this document stands out to be questionable, where shall we leave the right of Article 28 of the person being referred to? Much obliged.
Yes, Council, your sentiments are noted, and as your leading counsel, Nyamodi, pointed out, once you do cross-examination, then as a committee we will know the kind of weight to accord this particular document. But as I said, the burden is on the County Assembly to convince this committee that this indeed is a bank statement. I said bear in mind that burden. Proceed.
Chairman, I think what my learned colleague is saying is slightly broader than what I had said. He's saying that there are allegations here being made about people, and the basis of the allegation is what purports to be bank statements, and those bank statements have not been authenticated. And the question he asks is that this witness will leave testimony, and we know that this is a political process. The information will be out there. What then will be done to heal any damage that will have been done by the admission of whatever these documents purport to be?
Chairman, can I express myself, because I think my learned friend wants to have both ways. They elect not to call these witnesses.
Yes, Counsel.
Yes,
Senior Counsel.
Mr. Chairman, my learned friend wants to, they're pontificating. They put themselves on a certain pedestal, then they want to lecture us on this. Mr. Chairman, as I said this morning, Khaira is the most pivotal witness in this proceedings. Everything rotates around her. She is the center of gravity. She is the fulcrum about all these things. This committee, in its wisdom, said that you will not call her. But everything, every allegations on this matter touches her. Now that she is not being called, either voluntarily or involuntarily, they can't come and say that, every time there is human dignity, there is this. At the right time, we will address the legal issue that comes out of this. It's very simple. It's for us to show this committee persuasively that this is a proper document that is admissible in law.
Chairman, perhaps let me make a suggestion that will perhaps advance this matter. And that suggestion is this. The proceedings of this committee are serious proceedings. And the proceedings of this committee enjoy the privilege that proceedings before this House enjoy. If, Chairman, and this is my suggestion, if this committee finds that the documents that purport to be bank statements are not authentic, then I urge the committee to restrict that privilege so that appropriate action can be taken against those who bring documents such as this and seek to abuse the privilege of this House. That is the recommendation that I urge that you make, If they cannot authenticate these documents, then let them face the full face of the law. This is not a game. It is a very serious affair.
As I've said, finally, as we conclude, this committee will look at the veracity and authenticity of this document. So that there will be a pronouncement on what weight to accord this document. So for now, let's proceed.
Now, when you are putting all these witness, when you are putting these bank statements, I can see there's an attachment on that, the last document. Can you explain that last document to the committee?
Oh, the photography. I get this one. Oh.
Is it an attempt to create a nexus between all these companies and money and Cairo?
Yes.
Explain briefly what it means.
Hopefully, everybody does it. Here, at the top is the National Treasury, where we receive money from the exchequer. Then it trickles down to the county treasury that is based in Wajir. From there now, we have the suppliers or the contractors who have been awarded contracts are now being paid. Here I have got one director by the names of Mohamed Abdi Mohamud, who has 7 companies. He is a man whom I said in my affidavit is an associate or runs proxy companies for the governor and his wife. He is paid a total of 305,447,589 shillings. That is just one director. A single release from Treasury, he can be paid 5 to 6 companies. When in 2017, at the start of the administration of this county government now, we have suppliers who have not been paid for a project of 1 million Kenya shillings. So you can ask yourself, what is the relation? How connected is this person for him to be paid 305 million shillings when a supplier from 2016 or even 2015 from the previous administration will not even be paid 1 million shillings? Number 2, there's another director who owns 4 companies: Ajwa Construction, Blue Valley Investments, Tripoli Issa, Sabahu Investments. This is a boy who runs errands. Because I know, and I'm from the county government, from Wajir County. He runs errands for the first family. We also call him 10% because he's the collector of that. He's the man who deposits money into the accounts of Khaira, as I said before. His companies are not even 2 years old for it to be given such projects. But because of the connection and the proxy companies that he runs for, he is paid 110 million shillings. In one single release, if I may refer you to pages 40 and 41. Pages 40 and 41. This contractor was paid 13 times, a single director. From a release of 199 million shillings, is paid 45 million Kenyan shillings. When we have over 1,000 suppliers in Wajir. Pages 41, pages 40A and 41. If I may go through, the companies are Blue Valley Investments, paid 2.6 million, 63,000. Blue Valley Investments, 2,846,597. Blue Valley Investments, 3,120,000. Blue Valley Investments, 3,122,000. Come down, Sabaho Construction, 3,213,000. Tripoli Issa, 3,213,000. Ajwa Construction Company Limited, 3,305,000. Ajwa Construction again, 3,382,000. Ajwa again, 3,397,000. Sabahu again, 3,489,000. Blue Valley Investment, 3 million. You come down again to Ajwa, another Ajwa, on page 41. Sabahu Construction Limited, 3,489,000. Then, if you go to page page 34, page 35, you'll find the CR Tolof for Triple Isa. The director is Abdirazak Isa Mohammed. You go to page 36, it is a Blue Valley Investment. The director is Abdirazak Isa Mohammed.
Can you tell the committee when those companies were registered?
Those companies were registered and on page 37.
No, look at 35, page 35.
Page 35. It was registered on 14th August 2019.
And page 35?
Page 35 was registered 1st August 2019. And page 37, 22nd July 2019.
Now let me just put you one question. Look at this company called Fatco Company Limited.
Yes.
Fatco. There is some company Fatco. Is it? Yes, yes. Now that you say that company, you say Umar Abdullahi owns the above company. A bribe amounting to 9 million was paid to Haira, and there is the diagram showing.
Yes.
Where is that? How do you know that it is Umar that paid this 9 million?
Excuse me.
How will you tell the court? I mean, tell the committee how you make that conclusion that 9 million was paid by Umar?
From the time you just look at the dates that contract was being advertised, and the date that deposit was made into the account of Haira, you correlate. Again, what I know is an active file at the AACC now of Fatco that's being investigated already.
So is it your testimony that you are saying that you look at the date when this was paid by the county government?
No, this kickback of 9 million was for him to be awarded the project, not after payment. It was a prior payment.
What of this one?
What senior counsel has asked, how do you link the fact that the money was deposited in cash and the allegation that it came from Fatco? I think that's what senior counsel is asking you to explain to the committee.
Yes, I said the information I have.
From who?
I think it's privileged, Chairman.
Pardon?
I think I cannot disclose my.
You know that
my source.
That question has come from your lawyer, and you need to answer it to us. To our
just answer the best of your knowledge.
Okay, and there was complaints because this tender that Omar paid for the bribe, he was not the lowest bidder. We had two lowest bidders than him who could not get that project. So from our investigations, we came to know that it was because of the kickback that facilitated him to be given that project.
And is it your evidence now that...
Chairman, sorry to interject, Senior Counsel. Chairman, perhaps it would have been a lot neater if those explanations were included in the statement. Because those explanations are now being introduced to fill gaps in the statement. I'm not sure whether that is procedural.
So was that in your statement anywhere?
Mr. Chairman,
what you are saying?
Mr. Chairman,
if you can clarify?
Excuse me?
Is what you are telling us in your statement?
Yes, it's my affidavit.
Which paragraph?
On 18th December, paragraph 11B.
11B.
Yes.
On 18th, Omar deposited.
On 18th of December 2017, Mr. Omar Abdi deposited a sum of cash, 9 million to Ms. Khaira's bank, account ending with 7550. Mr. Omar Abdi is the director of one of the companies, many companies who have been awarded tenders by Wajir County government. This specific tender number WCG/T/393/2017/2018, was advertised on 16th November 2017 for the construction of a 60,000 meter cubic water plant at Timbiri in Wajir South.
Okay, Councillor Nyamodi, I think there's some explanation there.
The question that he was asked and where he is struggling to fill the gaps is, how did he know this?
But Mr. Chairman, I think it is not the law, and it has never been, and I don't think it will ever be, that a witness can be shackled by the witness statement he gives. He can expound on it. That's the law. There's nothing that stops him to give more evidence from the witness's stand.
I think Councillor Nyamodi, to me, he says that on 18th December, Mr. Omar Abdullahi deposited 9 million into Hera's bank account. So you can also test the veracity of that statement when you cross-examine.
Very
but
well,
the
Chairman.
allegation is made, it's there.
If he could be so kind to answer then the question that his own advocate asked him of how he knew.
Proceed.
Yes, now, there's a lot of other evidence you give in relation to this matter. Look at paragraphs 14 and 15 of your witness statement.
Yes.
Yes, explain what you mean, paragraph 14 and 15 and 16.
Sometimes in mid-January 2018,
Yes.
after the governor exhausted his budget, he instructed the former CEC Finance to use a substantial portion of his department's budget for purposes of purchasing a motor vehicle, Land Cruiser, for the governor. An advertisement was placed
If you may
to
allow me
invite.
to interject just one for the last time, and I seek your guidance. The witness, when he took the stand, took oath. The kind of the nature of the document that we are having here is a statutory deponent. So we are having two situations whereby a witness has taken oath to provide a statutory declaration. He has taken oath while at the stand. So we will be left and will be at a loss to know exactly how we shall test the veracity. And that is why it would have been prudent for a witness who has taken oath through an affidavit, just adopts it, and then is put to cross-examination. The witness who has not taken oath and has just done a mere statement, then can be taken through the process of examination in chief for purposes of having some tidy work.
But I think now that we are where we are, let's proceed where we are proceeding so that we finish. Proceed, Council.
Okay.
Yes, explain, continue explain.
Yes.
Paragraph 14, 15, 16, and 17. And do it quickly, please.
But you know, Chair, if I'm interjected a lot, I will also lose. So I also request to be given some time at least to explain myself.
Just try. They say you should,
Thank you.
You should scale the stairs and chew gum at the same time. So just try. They also have the interest of their clients, so they want to be sure that what you are doing will not be prejudicial to their client. But just try. Try to bear with the situation.
Okay. Let me go back. Sometimes in mid-January 2018, after the government exhausted his budget, he instructed the former CST Finance to use a substantial portion of his department's budget.
Without reading, just
Yes.
explain what is the issue in
Okay.
paragraph 14, 15, 16, and 17.
We will be able to read the
Yes,
affidavit,
just explain.
Yes.
but you can make a
Point you're making.
small explanation. We'll be able to read through.
Okay, it is that the governor and his wife gave orders that they needed a vehicle, but they didn't have the budget. So the CEC Finance was forced to do it, but he said, no, I don't have. But because of the powers vested, the executive powers vested with the governor, he went ahead and instructed the Department of Procurement to make the advertisements, but there was a protest by the CEC that is an irregular process. But eventually, a vehicle was bought, KCQ 004U, a Toyota Land Cruiser.
So what's the problem? If they buy that, what's the point you're making?
The point I'm making is that the purchase of the vehicle was unilateral, irregular, and had not gone through the normal process of budgeting and approval.
And how much it will cost?
The vehicle, the amount that money was used was 26 million shillings. And on the 2nd of July, Dio Construction Company Limited was given a tender. And in that tender again, after payment of that money to Dio's account, on the 3rd of July, Dio Construction Limited transferred the sum of Kenyan shillings 2,220,000 shillings to Mr. Yusuf Mohamed Abdi's account ending with 0967. And on the same day, Cosmos Cars Limited was paid the sum of Kenyan shillings 14 million from Dio Construction Limited. Yeah, this matter is being investigated by the EACC, and the vehicle is still being held, as I know. The vehicle is being held pending investigations by the EACC. Yes. The complaint is that Arag Construction Limited is a company associated with the governor, and they have just been awarded a project, a ghost project of regulation of waterworks at Fadiwin. It's a project that has never been done. It doesn't even exist. It has not even been implemented, but money has been paid to the directors of that company, a sum of Kenyan shillings 3,376,684. If you even go now to Fadiwin, is a location, there is no project of this type in that place. Aska Company Limited was also awarded to supply food to the county government. A sum of Kenyan shillings 23,530,517 was paid to that company. And in Haska's account, that money was reflected. Then on the 29th of June 2019, Ms. Farhia Mohammed, the daughter of the governor, Wajir, was sent the sum of Kenyan shillings 4,500,000 shillings.
Give your testimony that the money was paid on 27th floor, then the money was sent on 27th floor and it was sent by Haska. Is that the evidence?
Yes. If you go to page 7 and 8. You'll find on the 29th, Faria's bank statement, a sum of Kenyan shillings, 4,500,000 shillings.
Let's go to paragraph 23.
Before we go to paragraph 23, paragraph 20, on the money paid to Dio for the motor vehicle, a sum of Kenyan shillings 4 million was sent to Townsville Holdings Limited, and Townsville again sent back that money to Faria's account. That was on the 3rd of July. That is when Dio sent that money to Townsville Holdings Limited. Then on the 10th of September 2018, Townsville sent 4 million shillings to Faria's account. If you go to page 7, you'll find it. On the 10th of September 2018, 4 million shillings was deposited in the Faria's account. Okay, on 20. Yes.
And did you evidence that these bank statements, both from the central bank account and these other banks, are testimony to that?
Yes.
Would you like to adapt your evidence and annex it as evidence before this committee?
For sure, yes.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Barry Hamid. We still have about 5 minutes. Councillor Nyamodi requested you to reserve your cross-examination to tomorrow. Honorable Senators, we have 5 minutes. If you have any clarification before we adjourn at 6. Anybody who wants to seek a clarification? Senator Petronila Were.
Just one clarification. You said ARAG construction company directors are associated with the governor. What relation is there between those directors and the governor? Since you are able to prove about the wife and the daughter Farhia, what about the directors of ARAG construction?
These are family relations, Chairman.
Where can we get that in your...
What? Oh, I said they're associated, but I didn't specifically say. But I know when I say it is associated. No, I don't have the birth certificates to prove that.
Does it mean that this document is from there?
Yeah, that, you got the question?
Yes, I've got the question.
Can you answer?
Oh, the documents are stamped ACC, but these are copies. So I do not have the originals, but these are the copies I got.
She's asking, did you get them from EACC?
No, I didn't get from ACC.
Senator Madam, are you satisfied with the answer?
He has them, and he didn't get them from EACC. How did he get them?
Yeah, she wants you to clarify how you got them, if you're able to explain.
I got from my source.
That's not an answer.
Okay, I think that's okay. We'll put it on record that you got them from a source.
Yes, Your Honor.
Senator Susan Kihika.
Chair, I hear the witness saying they got them from their source, but at the same time, I mean, like somebody said, it's a really important hearing that we're having.
Sure.
So for us to be able to give any property value in these documents, we kind of need some seriousness. As if first of all, there's not even a letterhead. You could have made it in River, and probably the other country will handle that. So if the only stamp there is that of the EACC, but you're also saying they didn't give them to you, I mean, it just seems, and forgive me, but it just seems very prejudicial to the other side if you cannot, in any manner, help us understand their legitimacy.
So, Barry, some doubts are being cast on your document.
Yes.
It's a
Can I consult my advocate, please?
These are authentic documents, even as you don't disclose your source. Senator Susan is raising some doubt. How do you convince her that you did not make these documents in River?
I'm saying, can I consult a minute with my advocate?
Pardon me?
Can I consult my advocate, please?
Unless he's suggesting.
Can we get some answer we can put on record? Yes?
What do you say?
Can you get some answer for Senator Susan Kuhika?
Currently, I'm not positive, but I will explain.
Okay, very well. Very well. Senator Linturi.
Chairman, because of this allegation whether you have attached anywhere documents to demonstrate that such processes, especially in terms of procurement, took place, who are involved in the evaluation of these tenders, and whether there is any letter to show, yes, there was that 60 million worth of, no, the 60,000 cubic, millimeter of a dam, where you are lending 9 million shillings having been paid as a bribe, so that at least we can be able to check the documentation and see a flow. So maybe 9 million was paid, the handback was on this date, after the handback, 9 million was paid, and immediately after probably being paid, yeah, a letter of award was given, something like that, at least to be able to create some flow, and which you can actually make inference and see whether the story being given here is a creation in your mind, or is actually something that is really supported by documentation. Because it's critical, we want justice for everyone.
Mr. Honorable Mohamed, your response?
Chairman, you know, as the council and even the Honorable Senator said, it's a serious issue, and I know it's a serious issue because appearing before the Senate, of the committee of the Senate, with this motion of impeaching the governor is not a serious, it's not a small matter. At the same time, Chair, you also know it's not also going to be easy to get documents to prove such a case. So with me, I've done my part to bring these documents that I have and to prove to this honorable court under oath.
So you are not able, are you answered to your satisfaction because you are fine? Okay, sawa. Honorable, sorry. Yes, Honorable Alugura.
Yeah, thank you, Chair.